I never planned to ruin my mother's wedding. But the moment I saw the look in his eyes, cold, calculating, like he was already measuring the walls of our house for what he could take, I knew I couldn't just sit there and watch her make the biggest mistake of her life. My name is Emily Carter. I'm 17, and for the last 5 years, it's been just me and Mom. Dad passed away in a car accident when I was 12, and since then, Mom has been my anchor. She worked 2 jobs, never complained, and somehow still found time to braid my hair before school. I loved her more than anything. Then he came along. His name was Richard Blake. He was charming, in the kind of way that made waitresses smile extra wide and older neighbors say, "He's such a gentleman." He brought Mom flowers, took her to expensive restaurants, and called me, kiddo, like we were some happy little family. But behind those polite smiles, I saw something else, sharp edges, a temper barely hidden. I noticed how he got annoyed when I interrupted their conversations. How his eyes would flick to my phone if I didn't laugh at his jokes. At first, I thought I was imagining it. Maybe I was just jealous, afraid of losing Mom's attention. But then, little things started happening. One night, I overheard them arguing in the kitchen. Mom's voice trembled while she said, "I don't like the way you talk about Emily." Richard's reply was cold. "She's a kid. She'll learn her place." I didn't tell Mom what I heard. I thought maybe it was a one-time thing. But then, I caught him in my room. He said he was looking for scissors, but his eyes lingered on my jewelry box before he left. And then, 1 week before the wedding, I found proof. Mom had been out shopping for her dress, and I was looking for the stapler in Richard's briefcase. Don't ask why, it was the only place I hadn't checked, when I found a stack of documents. There were bills, loan notices, and something that made my stomach drop, a prenup draft. Not the kind that protected my mom. The kind that would strip her of everything if they divorced. I stayed up all night, wondering if I should tell her. I knew she loved him. She hadn't been this happy since Dad died, and I didn't want to crush that. But I also knew, deep in my bones, that if she married him, she'd regret it. The day of the wedding arrived. The church was beautiful, draped in white and gold, smelling faintly of roses. I sat in the second pew, my heart pounding so hard it made my ears ring. Mom walked in, radiant in her gown. She didn't look nervous, she looked hopeful. And that was the hardest part. The ceremony went smoothly at first. The priest spoke, Richard smiled, and I kept my hands folded tightly in my lap, praying for a sign. Then came the words, "Is there anyone here who objects to this union?" I swear the air in the church froze. My whole body shook. My mind screamed, "Don't do it, you'll humiliate her." But my heart couldn't let her walk into a trap. I stood. My voice cracked at first, but I forced the words out. "I object." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Mom's eyes widened, and Richard's smile faltered. The priest looked stunned. "Emily," Mom whispered, "what are you doing?" I swallowed hard. "He's lying to you, Mom. He's using you. I found documents, loans, a prenup that takes everything from you. He's not who you think he is." Richard's voice turned sharp. "This is ridiculous. She's a child." I cut him off. "And you're a con man." Everyone started murmuring. Mom's hands shook as she looked between us. "Richard, is this true?" His jaw clenched. "Of course not." But the way he avoided her eyes said everything. That was the moment Mom's expression changed. It was like a veil lifted, and she finally saw him the way I did. She took a step back, her grip on the bouquet tightening. "Get out," Richard sputtered, tried to salvage his charm, but 2 of my uncles were already moving toward him. He left, muttering under his breath, and the church doors slammed behind him. The rest of the day was a blur. Guests whispered, the reception was cancelled, and Mom sat in our kitchen that night with a cup of tea, her wedding dress still hanging in the hallway. She finally looked at me and said, "Emily, I don't know if I'll ever forgive myself for not seeing it sooner. But thank you for loving me enough to stop me." I hugged her, tears streaming down my face. "I just couldn't lose you, Mom." In the weeks that followed, we rebuilt. It wasn't easy. She felt embarrassed. I felt guilty, but slowly, we found our rhythm again. We laughed, we cooked together, and one evening, she told me something that stuck with me forever. Sometimes, the hardest thing you can do for someone you love is tell them the truth they don't want to hear. And sometimes, that's the most loving thing of all. We didn't need a wedding to feel like a family. We already were one. Just me and Mom, 2 people who had each other's backs, no matter what.